Floor's yours, Bill.
All right, welcome everybody to the Flatwater Trail Commission meeting. At this point, I'll call the meeting to order for the 25th day of July, 2024. Introductions, I'd like for each of you in turn to introduce yourself and who you represent. Amanda, start there. Everybody knows you.
I was waiting for you, Bill, but I can go first. I'm Amanda Pitzer, Preston County, also the Executive Director of Friends of the Chief.
John Burchett from Mingo County, Friends of the Tug Fork River.
And I'm Corey Lilly from Fayette County, and I work with the Smith Outdoor Economic Development Collaborative.
And I'm Bill Curry. I'm chairman of the organization. Do we have any other guests? And I'd like to make sure we introduce and you introduce yourselves, Mark or Chrissy.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark Collins here with the West Virginia DNR.
And Christy Baker, I am the DNR recording secretary.
Thank you both. In the beginning, I'll be asking for, is there any corrections to our May the 7th, 2024 meeting minutes? No. If not, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
I move to approve the minutes.
There was a motion to approve the minutes. Do I hear a second?
Bill, I'll second the motion to approve the minutes.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the May the 7th, 2024 meeting minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed signify by saying no.
Aye.
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 The motion carries. Okay, I've got a little time to talk. It's a great thing about being a chairman. You don't have a vote, but you get to set the agenda. I'm sure you saw in advance the agenda. There's several things. And one of the things, I just talked before this, that I do plan to retire this year from active involvement in this organization. And I'm trying to work back my active involvement in the Coal River Group. But it's important for us, just to walk everybody back where we started from. We started with nothing. I can't say we have nothing today, but I can say that we've accomplished much. And together, you folks have been involved. Corey, you came in late, but I'm sure you're going to be our future, and part of it. But, they didn't give us a budget. When the governor appointed me as chairman of this organization, he said, "Hey, this is great, Curry, here, congratulations, go out and make the Flatwater trails great." And he gave us a mission statement. And I just want to remind everybody, excuse me if I take too much, but our mission statement is to unify and coordinate efforts to develop and establish successful water trails. Our second was to standardize procedures, programs, research, and support for the development and establishment of water trails. The third was, and it's very important, to disseminate information for the purpose of educating the public as to the existence and functions of the commission and as to the availability of state, federal, and non-government resources and support for development of established Flatwater trails. To advise, consult, and cooperate with other offices, Department of Commerce, and other agencies to receive assistance thereof for the development of activities and programs beneficial to Flatwater trails. The Department of Commerce shall assist the commission in these functions and operations, including but not limited to providing administrative, clerical, technical support, publishing materials developed by the commission, and preparation of proposed legislation for the future of the commission. All that well said and good, we've had to struggle on our own. And basically, I thank the support of the DNR. They have just done a wonderful job supporting us and putting on each of these programs. The Department of Commerce has been busy with so many different things. We've gotten very little in terms of support, in terms of finances. Everybody's short on finances. So in the future, we've got this group organization, in order to function properly, it's got to, we got to have a secretary. Christy does a great job for the DNR putting on our meetings, but we have no secretary. And I basically don't have a secretary. I got 8 people out there working for me, but they're doing jobs cleaning up rivers and promoting and all that stuff. But if you take a look, this is my notes for the last 3 years. And, you know, it's me, you know, and somebody's going to have to go through this and sort all this stuff out. But it's all in there. I don't throw anything away. We've got every meeting, we've got every report. But hey, George.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Welcome.
Okay. Are you hearing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good.
I'm in the middle of a long-winded conversation here, so with everybody. So
Yeah, I've been on ever since the introduction there. I was having trouble getting on, but ever since the introduction of Mark and Christian.
Right. All right. And just to go back, I mean, my opening comments are basically general, you know, we've got to have support for this organization. We're too important in the state. You know, when we held, and I'd love to be able to do this, I don't think I'm going to be able to host it this year, but I'd love for somebody to host a statewide Flatwater Trail meeting, just like we had, and bring all these new Flatwater trails together again with the government regulators and the supporters, so that we can plan like all of our surrounding states have done for 20 years to have a unified Flatwater Trail program that's promotable by tourism or somebody that will put money into promoting our state's Flatwater trails, which are right now over 17 or 18 in number. So it's really important that we develop a lobbying activity, I guess, if you will, from this organization. Number one, to get funding to support these things, get secretarial work, and get support from all the state agencies. And then I think we need a grant writer. I mean, this organization can receive grants, and West Virginia, Tim Sadowski and the folks at Highways have money through their recreation trail program that this group, if we had a grant writer, could develop. And I've used them and abused them for years, but their grants are very easy to deal with because you can credit your support, required support, in terms of hours of volunteers, which is not cash. So anyway, I'll get off of that, but that was my opening.
Anytime.
Yeah. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is the need to discuss standards for uniform state standards for uniform listings and showings and signage for water trails. We've talked about this a lot. And finally, Tim Sadowski, and I don't know, did any of y'all attend that public meeting we had with the West Virginia Senate's Recreation Trail Commission or Committee last January? It was a very, very important thing, and Mark Maynard from Logan, Mark is the chairman of the state's Recreation Committee, and he gave us an opportunity to make a major presentation. And Tim Sadowski's presentation was most appropriate because it described the process and the reasons for applying for and becoming a certified state water trail. And that's so extremely important for this state to maintain that growth that we've had. We have 47 rivers, according to the state statistician. We have at least 17. We may now have 18 or 19, depending on who's completed their things. But the uniformity that we provide for all water trails provides, for example, us at least 15,000 paddlers are coming to the Coal River water trails to use them, either to fish or paddle or whatever. The Tour de Coal had over 2,300 people come. They didn't all pay, but they entered the river and we had a hell of a good time. But the point is that we're growing rivers, we're growing economies along rivers, and it's so very important. But the uniformity of launch sites for particularly, I'm involved in Kentucky and Ohio, and I'm involved in Maryland and Pennsylvania. People are loving this place. And on our Facebook sites, which I have over 100,000 people that are involved in our Coal River Facebook site, Tour de Coal alone, we had all these people wanting to know where this place was, how to get there, and now they're coming back after that and they're saying, I want to do that low Coal River, I want to do the big Coal River, I want to do this state, I like to fish. And being able to get that information out with no money, basically, for all of us is difficult. So we need an established two things we need. Number one, the breakthrough is that Tim Sadowski has given us, has worked hard now, to change the Department of Highways policies. Amanda, you know what it's like. I mean, I know what it's like. Anybody that's in the water trail business, they just say no. It doesn't fit federal standards. It doesn't, well, we've got a breakthrough. And the breakthrough is that if all the water trails who are established and certified will contact their local division, highways, county offices, and ask them for a highway notification of a boat launch area in their water trail, they will consider it. So what I've done, I mean, I've been very fortunate. I've been able to smooth most of our highways folks into allowing us to do that. But now it's pretty clear that if each water trail will go to their division and say, I've got a water trail and I've got launches here, here, and here, could you put up a sign? And their sign won't use some kind of pretty picture. It'll say boat launch 4 miles, boat launch at this location. It has to be done within the federal regulations and the state regulations where they get their money from. But it's a breakthrough. But you're going to have to do some smoothing, and you're going to have to, the water trails are going to have to go to their local division. And Tim Sadowski, I'm going to blame it all on him. He's saying that's the way you got to start the process. Then I said, well, what about our long-term ideas of putting up a specific one with our name someplace close to the boat launch that we want on state property? And we've got tentative approval, and basically, if we can come up with a fairly uniform, they keep saying, as long as it's not a souvenir sign, you know what I mean? People love to steal fancy signs and pretty signs and all that. If it's something this simple, and I use this basic diagram, by the way, most of our paddlers are female, so I certainly include the female version on as many as I can. A lot of ours are fishermen too, and the women are fishing. But the point is there is an opportunity. It's up to the individual water trail to go to the division, ask for the sign from the major highway to the secondary highway. It can be done on the interstate. I've had one put on the interstate. They took it off, but I think I can get it put back on. The other thing is this, if you can localize, and if we could push that within our membership of all the water trails to come up with some basic and again, I'm thinking of a circle with a design like this, it just says launch ahead. That then could be affixed to an existing sign on the highway, on a state highway sign. And he said, that's kind of the way it could work. But you're gonna have to do everybody's gonna have to do some smoozing, but if we go in there uniformly all over the state, and as people come in and look for a place to put their boat in the water and they see that, then we've solved a big problem. So for your all's information, and you can contact me after this for more details and how to do it and that kind of thing. I don't know, any conversation on that? Anybody want to chip in on? I'm kind of going fast here, but
I have a question, Bill. You may or may not know this yet. The launch signs, I mean, we have signs that DNR has helped us install.
yeah.
I mean, could they not be the same? I mean, I guess those are maybe more fishing access.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just wondering if the signs don't already exist. Has there been any discussion about that?
None. No, I mean, the more signs, the better is the way I look at it. The more promotion you can get. But, again, it would be awful nice on it. And think about it, we're thinking about everybody.
I mean, the design. Within spec. I want the signs. I mean, just the design may already exist. I'm
Yeah,
wondering.
well, I mean, whatever you do on your own property, or on a DNR launch, just contact the DNR. I mean, but, basically I just made a tour of 8 of our 20 boat launches, and everything is a co-op deal. When the DEP actually owns the launch, they have their own sign up, but they allow us to put our own local signs, information, details on that. It's a coordination and a thank you, we appreciate you asking us to do it, kind of thing. Anybody else want to chip in on that?
Do you know the most routine used like online app or something for flatwater paddlers? Is there something similar to American Whitewater or something that folks are using that we're
Well,
aware of?
we have our own. I mean, that's what I just talked to John Burchett about. I mean, the Flatwater, West Virginia Flatwater Trail has both a page on Facebook, and we have a site, and you can use those. Have you been to those?
I've been to those, but like an application that is like a similar. There's an application right now that the company NRS just launched called Paddleways, and they are sponsoring paddlers across different parts of the US to log sections of rivers, and then where those put-ins and takeouts are and features that they should be aware of. So I was just wondering if there's something for that was being utilized to that regard of an interactive kind of application that.
No, but if we had a staff, we could really fill them up. We could fill them up, with 17 boat, Flatwater trails with all the launches we already have established and 20 years of doing it. But again, it takes people like you that know how to do that to help move everybody forward together.
Question with the not to jump back, but the mission statements that were provided whenever this commission was created. Is there have we gone through any type of strategic planning session to outline milestones, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 4 years out that we're shooting for that I could refer back to?
You may have missed my earlier talk. We have no secretary. We have no funding. We have no budget. I'd love to do that. And I'd love to see this group do it. But without any resources to apply to that, we're doing this. I've done this out of the Coal River group, basically.
There's a program we're launching right now out of our West Virginia Core Initiative through the OEDC. And one of the elements of that is technical assistance to the tune of strategic planning for a capacity building for organizations. So if that was something that the commission would like to move forward with, we'll be launching that this winter, late fall, that we could go through a day retreat where we really dial in exactly what we're going to shoot for over the next couple of years and bring us all onto the same page. It might be a good way for us to recap, and we'll have a facilitator there that could assist with that.
Well, that is something to be very important. If we have another state Flatwater Trail Commission outing conference statewide, that was the way we did it 3 years ago. Is we brought together at our Cold River group, we brought all the Flatwater trails and all the people like you who have that information to talk, and all the state administrators to talk about how we could move forward. And all of us are pretty similar. None of us have a lot of money. None of us have a staff, it's real. So, but again, I would urge this group as I leave to look at those kind of opportunities. You're full of ideas right there, but again, it takes people to do that.
It would just be a strategic session with the commissioners themselves to see how we could make an impact. Additionally, we're currently hiring for a grant resource. It's what's with the West Virginia Resource Grant Center, and specifically the individual that we're hiring will focus on recreation projects. And so it's the pre-award work that takes place, and they'll help write the grant, the narrative, get everything in place to submit. And it's a free resource that we could apply for. It doesn't help with that post-award, but it does help on that pre-award. That's an additional resource that we could tap into for the commission.
I appreciate your input, and please keep that up, because those are the things this commission needs. But again, we need a foundation of some kind of staff to pull this together, to copy it, to do that. Individually, we're all trying to run our own organizations, and we just don't have any capabilities for that. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's, and again, I'm urging all the new water trails as they contact me to go to the Department of Highways and apply for that recreation trail grant. I mean, that grant provides exactly those kind of funds to hire consultants and staff and all to do that kind of thing, to make us successful. So it's one way to do it. Okay, let's move on. Any other comments? Anybody comment? Final topic for the evening includes the West Virginia Department of Tourism and Promotion of Flatwater Trails of the state of West Virginia. As all of you know, I mean, I am a promoter. I promote and understand how to promote. The 20 years at the Cold River Group, we've worn people out with what we're going to do, what we did, how we're doing it, and now we're into what we're doing forward with. But it takes promotion to bring people to these small towns like Madison and Whitesville, and it got 2,000 people, 2,500. In order to bring economic development to the regions where the Flatwater trails flow through, we've got to be, and it's the simplest thing for us to do, the Flatwater trails, is to be the promoter, because our trails are contiguous. And that's the whole reason of a Flatwater trail, is to be a contiguous route from upstream to downstream that flows through counties and avoids conflicts with counties and cities and all the little things that go on land. When you're building a land trail, and any of you try to build a land trail, you know what that's like. That's the reason we picked water trails, because we own the river. We don't have to ask permission to build a water trail on the river, and we don't have to go to the city to ask for it, or the county. We go to the state. And that's the beauty of a certified water trail, is it brings together a new element of promotional capability for a whole region. We got 900 square miles in the Cold River watershed, and we've been able to cure the majority of the environmental problems. We've been able to bring trails. We've got a new Hatfield McCoy Cycle Center going in just a few miles away from the Coal River Center. We've got B&Bs going up all over the place. But you got to have clean water, and you've got to have coordination, and you've got to have coordination in managing the water trail. So it's a process. And I hope after 20 years of what we've done and what John Birch is doing over in his area and so many other water. I was on the Greenbrier River a few weeks ago on a vacation. I thought, oh my God, these guys got to be a water trail. And I went back to the Greenbrier people and they said, Bill, we just don't have any organization. We're a federal water trail, but that don't do anything for us. And I said, man, if you were a certified West Virginia, at least we could bring you into the fold and we could help promote. But I mean, it's absolutely the most gorgeous water I have seen in West Virginia. And I stayed in it for a week and it was just amazing. But it's a natural, and it's already busy. I mean, I don't want to over promote that area, but my goodness, what assets we have in the state's 47 rivers that we have and we should promote. So that's my story. Any other comments or discussion that anybody wants to bring up from this conversation?
Bill, I have just a little update. I don't know if now is appropriate or if there's a window for commissioner comments.
Shoot,
Maybe
Yeah.
that's a go ahead. Cool.
go ahead.
Um,
I mean,
But I wanted to let everyone know, I've been involved with some of the groups that associated with the Ohio River Basin Alliance. So that includes the Ohio River Way and folks up in Pennsylvania who have water trails. And through that work, I've met Tally MacArthur. She's the Pennsylvania Water Trails Coordinator, and they're actually working on their strategic plan for the state. So I'm going to keep in touch with them. We're actually looking at possibly offering a session at the Ohio River Basin Gathering. That's going to be in Pittsburgh this fall. I don't know the date off the top of my head, but it's been good networking. And something that was just crazy to me is that one of the challenges that we don't have in West Virginia, here's a good thing, Bill. In Pennsylvania, if you get out of your boat, you are trespassing, even walking on the bottom of the river. So I was spending time with the Pennsylvania folks and kind of lamenting the lack of state support, because let's be honest, as Bill's pointed out, we really need some funding. And that was something I was complaining about. And they said, well, at least y'all can get out of your boat and don't have to worry about the trespassing issues, which this summer, of course, would have been plentiful because we don't have a lot of water in our rivers. So I just wanted to share that update and thank Bill for his continued leadership, and just wanted to comment that I think possibly Corey's offering of the strategic planning would help if we're gonna, be seeing some succession in the leadership of this group. So.
Well, thank you, Amanda. And just as a side note, the director of the Cincinnati, the largest kayak and boat event in the nation, really has been a partner with us, the Coal River Group, in helping teach us. And he's, I think, in charge of one of the Ohio River Trail programs. And it's just amazing. I mean, we can learn from other people, and all of the states surrounding us, we need to learn. If just go to the Facebook sites or the state sites and say Flatwater trails or blue trail. Of course, we don't have blue trail. We have, water trails, Flatwater, but we have green trails. And see what our competition is statewide. It's amazing how much, for 20 years they've been floating and promoting Flatwater trails. They call them blue trails or green trails or whatever. And we're just starting, and there's so much that we can learn just by looking at what the competition's doing. But let me go back to tourism. Tourism has got to give us a shot in the arm. If you go pick up all the tourism documents, all the magazines about tourism, everything that's produced by the state of West Virginia, and you count the pictures of Flatwater Trail boats or events or stories in those, and you'll see two. I mean, it's just absolutely absent. And we and me have been meeting for 3 years with the Tourism Commission's representatives, and they're very responsive in terms of meeting and listening to us, but it's not paying off. And if there's any other group, I mean, other than that can bring as many people as we bring to the state to Flatwater trails and places like Winterford or Dartmouth or any place in these little towns that Flatwater Trails are bringing, show me. And yet, because we don't have the money to buy the big ads in the state-supported programs, we get no recognition. So politically, we need, I don't want to talk politics, I can't do that as a chairman, but we need more help from tourism, just simply recognizing the power and the ability of Flatwater Trails in the state of rivers in the state to bring tourism to our state. That's my speech, and I'll give it up to that. Any other comments? With that, the next order of business is to set a date for the next meeting. Is there a motion to set a date for the next public meeting of the Flatwater Trail Commission? It says here to be held December the 5th. Is there any conversation about setting a date, and somebody would recommend a date of December the 5th, 2024 at 6 p.m.?
I move that the next public meeting of the Flatwater Trail Commission be held on December 5th, 2024 at 6 p.m.
Is there a second? Is there a second to that motion? Thank you.
I don't know if you can hear me, but this is George and I second it.
We can hear you. Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve the date of the next public meeting of Flatwater Trail Commission to be held on December 5, 2024 at 6 p.m. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed signify by no.
Aye.
If there is no further business to come before this meeting, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
A second.
It's been moved and seconded. Motion been made and seconded in favor of adjourning July 25th, 2024 for Flatwater Trail Commission meeting. All those in favor by signifying aye. Those opposed signifying by no.
Aye.
The motion carries. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for coming, and thank you for